Hey, what's up, guys? Theta is right now on a buy on the daily. So this is a pretty good sign. Again, we have a TD9 buy on the daily chart. So this is a daily 9 buy. It's a perfected 9 and it's a bullish hammer candle. So we have 3 hours left for the candle to close, and if it closes the way it is now, that is a bullish sign. This is a reversal candle, right? So you know, I want to see the price get back in the retracement levels. So we had all this big wave down, right? Now it's time for it to bottom out and come back into the retracement levels. That's the main idea. That's what I believe will happen. Now, if it doesn't happen, what alternative will there be? Well, let's zoom in for that. We go to the 4-hour chart. So you can see, I mean, we've been rocking to the downside here since August 24th or so. So we have a 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be wave 3. And then we have this A, B, C. That's a flat for wave 4. And this is our wave 5. So, yeah, I think it could be a done deal here. So if we have another low, then I'm looking at an extended 5th for this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know that seems like, well, what the heck, that's a lot of waves. Well, that's the thing is, it doesn't look right to me either, right? It doesn't seem like that's what it would do. So one of the good things is that we're looking for liquidity, right? So if you see all of these closes down here, these closes right here, that's our support, right? Here's our resistance. So if we bring this all the way across, you can see this wick right here was a liquidity grab. See, it fell in there and it got bought right back up. That's a strong rejection wick, and it didn't even close below these closes, right? So when you couple that with a 5-wave move, and you couple that with a daily 9 buy, right, for Theta, and you couple that with a bullish sort of hammer candle, I mean, we would like it to get up a little bit higher. So far it's a little bit of a sort of doji look to it, but it's still got a nice long tail at the bottom, which is a good sign. So that's that's kind of what we got here. And then if you couple that, do we have bullish divergence here? And that's the thing. Theta has no bearish divergence. It's got sort of, it just keeps coming down. Or sorry, no bullish divergence. It just keeps coming back down to support. So let's see if I go to the 8-hour chart here. Yeah, we don't have any bullish divergence except no, not even on the 1-hour chart. Let's see, the 2-hour, I mean, it's just not there. So that's a factor we got to take into consideration, right? We want to see some bullish divergence. As far as the retracement level goes, we want to get between 124 and 132, right? And in order for us to be even remotely bullish, we got to break this high, between $1.40 and $1.45. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. But, we want to see some type of bounce here. It could still be a WXY, right? We have a W, and then this could be an X, right? and then we would get a Y. Or it could be an ABC, we get 5 waves. But we need to see some kind of retracement here. Now, if this retracement gets rejected, then that would probably be the count. But if it starts to get some momentum here and we start flagging out, well, then maybe, you know, it's we're just going to get a continuation. So that's kind of where we are on the price of Theta here. Let's look at this super small time frames here. On the super small, I mean, that's a pretty nice impulse, I won't lie. Let's see here. Let me go to the 15-minute. So if I had to look at all of these counter trends, you can see that's corrective, and that's kind of corrective. It's only got 3. I mean, it looks like 5, but it's came up, got rejected. This looks a little bit of impulsive, but again, we quickly got slammed back down. This one here, same kind of thing probably is happening here, right? But the thing is when we pull back, are we just going to slam down, or are we going to find some support? Because it actually doesn't look too bad, this move up here. It actually looks pretty decent here. I mean, this could be wave 1, and then we have an A, B, C for wave 2, and now this could be like a wave 3, and maybe we get some kind of wave 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That could be the start of leading diagonal, right? And then we flag out in here at these highs. We want to get back up in here and then continue to the upside. So that's kind of the bullish way to look at it, right? And then we would, you know, maybe get some kind of a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, and we can break this to the upside and start our retracement. I know it feels like you know, it should have happened before, but this is a pretty nasty wave here. I would have liked to see more oscillation, more corrective behavior, but this is kind of, it's a little bit accelerated, so that's not what we want. But anyway, that's kind of the bullish idea. That's what we would look for here. So let me take this off. Let me look a little bit closer here, just to get some micro analysis. So I'm going to be watching this zone down here. If we break that zone to the downside, then I'm not going to like it as much. I'm not going to like it really a lot at all, probably. Unless we get a bigger retracement. So if this comes up and retraces high, and then we come down, we tap into it, that'll be pretty bullish, right? I would like to see a nice ABC here. That would be okay, and this could be, again, some kind of diagonal here. So that's usually how wave 1s start, which is kind of like overlapping, kind of looks corrective, but they're really like sort of diagonal patterns. Now, that's the bullish idea. The bearish idea is simply, I'll put my line here, or actually, better yet, let's do a retracement from this wave, and then I will clone this, and I would actually put it right here. So if we break, well, really, if we break this high, or this support area, and then, for example, like this kind of looks corrective. If this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, and now we're starting to push down wave 3, wave 4, and then we get into wave 5, I'm not gonna like it. right? That's going to be the bearish look. So then what I would expect, right, is us to have like a three-way pullback, and we would get rejected in this zone. And if we get rejected in that zone, then we can look for more downside, right? And if we are going more downside, then what would the overall count be? Well, then it would probably be an extended fifth, like we talked about here. So this is a flat, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then that fifth wave would come in somewhere maybe between, because right now we are right at, we had a 618 retrace and we bounced off pretty nicely. So let me take this off here. You can kind of see that wick. We wicked down and nailed that 618 and we got rejected off. So if we hold above it, this is just a 618 retrace. But if we start going below it, then we got to be even more cautious. It just increases the risk of another low, and we don't want that. You know, the main problem also is that this looks very three-wave-ish, right? It sort of looks like it's a three-wave move. So you would expect, if this is a wave 1, where's wave 2? We need a wave 2. And then when we get wave 2, then you can say, okay, now we get wave 3, 4, and 5, right? And then that would probably be the low. That would, at least for a while, right? Because you can see when we zoom out a little bit more, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And then we are actually, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have this flat here for 4, and then here's 5. So this could be like A, B, and C, right? So, but if we have another wave to the downside, then it gets a little bit more complex, right? Because now I would look at it like, well, a much more complex fourth wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is actually, so just looking at this C leg here, that's 1, 2, and then 3, and then this is a flat here for wave 4, and then we get wave 5. So that's sort of the bearish kind of look. So we would have an A, an A, a B, and then a C, right? So A, B, and then 1, 2, 3. We have a flat here for wave 4, and then 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be a 5-wave move, right? And then the hope here, right? Let's go to the daily. Is to get extremely strong bullish divergence. We already have bullish divergence on the daily, right? It's kind of small, but it's there. It's, but you can see from this point to this point, from this point slightly up. But if we come down hard for another wave to the downside that breaks this low, then we want the RSI to come up and have that bullish divergence. So that's between the fourth, or between the third and the fifth, right? So this would be the end of the third, and this would be the end of the fifth, right? So here's your third, and then we would want that to be stronger. And then I would expect from there, And then, by the way, the fifth wave could be some kind of diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some kind of like falling wedge or something. So then from there, I would expect a big pump, flagging out, and then breaking it, and then continue higher, right? So you have the sell side of the curve, you have the bottom, right? You're building a big base in here. And by the way, if we got something like this, what would it be? It would look to me like this is Wyckoff accumulation here. Remember our old buddy, or good old pal, our old friend, remember Mr. Wyckoff? Talked about it a lot back when I first started right here. This was a Wyckoff pattern right in here. This whole thing itself was Wyckoff. So we could be, and you can see how long it took, right? I mean, just look at this. This is not the chart I want, but this goes all the way up to $15. So we're going down, 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 right? And then we get to the bottom, and it's like, okay, let's go up. But it doesn't work that way. When you go to the bottom, you kind of have to play up, go back down, play up, go back down, play up, go back down. You have to build structure. So if you look at the wave, what we're doing right now, this is all building structure, right? So you can see, if I just put it even somewhere like right here, right? It's gonna, compare that to what happened kind of over here, where we came up, came back down, came up, came back. You see what I mean? And then eventually it created this spring phase, or this creek phase, which initiated this pump. So that's what I'm looking for. But I really like this 9. I mean, this is a beautiful 9 buy opportunity. This is not financial advice. I'm not saying this is a buy, right? But that's what the indicator says. This is TD sequential. You can't search for it in TradingView. If you want the indicator, you just go to Trend Reversal Predictor. Basically, it's the same thing. It's a TD sequential. It's an exhaustion indicator. It lets you know when the price is becoming exhausted in either direction, right? You can't use it blindly. You got to use it with other strategies as well, maybe like TD or Elliott wave or whatever, right? So let me just go back here to like the 3-day chart. And by the way, we're still on a, we still have, look at this. We still have the 2-week 9 buy. So don't forget about that big boy, right? I mean, this could take some time to play out, but it's there, right? And it's letting us know, hey, this is a little bit tiring. So we would want at least somewhat of a reversal here, or a bounce, right? Give us some sort of bounce that gets us into the retracement levels, and then we can reevaluate. But again, when I go to the whole chart here, like the 2-week chart, right, you can see also what happened over here. We created a base, right, which led to this big rally, right? We had the big dump, and then what did it do? It created another base, right? So if you take that logic and look at here, right? So you have this big down move, the base. Look at this. We have a big down move, and now we're probably developing a base. But look at the base. Look at this one. We had a low, a lower low, a lower low, and an even lower low, right? So we had a bunch of lows in here. We had too many lows, not enough Home Depots. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, we have a big chance here at, again, hashing out some kind of base. And when we look at the smaller time frames, if this is some kind of flat here for a wave 4, and this is a wave 5 now, right? It would be kind of, you can see that M shape it would be a little bit similar to kind of like over here, right, where you have that M shape. You see that? Kind of like a falling base. So we could have another falling base, right? And then we kind of go sideways, we go sideways, and then we start kicking it off here, and then all that becomes a base in here, right? So just because you see a day that it's up, or a day that it, a big move down or a big move up, just remember we're just oscillating in this range, right? So if we just take this whole thing, and it can even break even lower than that, but we don't, if we break this low, that would be like the final one. We don't want to break any more, right? Because we're already at risk, right? We don't even want to break it really, because if you look at this swing low over here, right here, we didn't break it. We wicked down and we tested it. So it's really important that this low holds around 88, 89 cents here. Or actually, what was it? It was more like, yeah, 89 cents. So, it could be, if this is a flat 4, this could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like maybe like a diagonal that's truncated that doesn't break the low, right? And then it kind of gives us that creek phase right in here, where it kind of rounds out, and then it plays around up here, and then it takes off. So then you have the boom, boom, come back up, go into the creek, round out. So something like that, right? And it's kind of similar to what happened over here, right? You had this move up, this move down, it comes back up, and then it goes into the creek, right? This one actually took the low because it's a different sort of Wyckoff schematic, but it's similar. It's similar in nature. So yeah, that's about it for theta, right? And that's basically the bullish idea. So I mean, both of those ideas are really bullish. It's just really about the short-term stuff. Now, if it really wants to be very bearish, it's if we start breaking below like 90 cents, and then we come up and we retest it as resistance, and we start coming back down, I mean, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good, right? Because then I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is a double bottom, right? You can see how we have a bottom. We came up, came all the way back down, had another bottom, and then we went sideways. So that could be what's happening here. You come all the way up, you come all the way back down, and then you have a base at the bottom of of this low here. So you have a bottom, and now you have a double bottom. It would be painful, but it would be actually a lot of opportunity. Let's just say a lot of opportunity, right? I would think at that point we would get a massive explosion to the upside, and then it would be more like in the shape of a W pattern, right? So check this out, how you have this W look to it, right? Now if you look at Ethereum, you see that right there? We come down, we come up, and you have this W. So here's your low, and we come all the way back down, basically having a double bottom here. And then it shot back up. So there's your W shape, right? There's your W shape, and this is very, very bullish, right? Because you have a bottom, double bottom. So if you translate, I'm just trying to give different ideas in case we go lower, right? This thing might go lower. So if it does go lower, I'm looking at it like Ethereum. And now that I think about it, it actually looks really similar kind of to what Ethereum did. So, I mean, yeah, looking at Ethereum and then looking at theta, right? Doesn't it look kind of similar here? So if it is playing out similar, then what could we expect? Well, maybe like a move kind of up, then back down, flush out the low, kind of play around a little bit, and then start to move your way back up, and then boom, you have your W shape, and then you're going to the moon, and then all that hard work, all the patience, all the buying, you know, the spot buys that you've been buying, right? All the paychecks, all the, you know, the work that you're doing to get your paycheck, right? And then you take that, some of it, right, a percentage, and you put it into crypto, and you put it in, and you put it in, and you're waiting, and then all of it finally pays off. That day is coming, right? We don't know the day, the hour, the minute, right? But it's coming. So we just have to be patient about it. So here we go, both charts side by side. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's like, now that I look at it a lot, I mean, it looks pretty dang good here, right? I mean, you obviously had your bull run, your top, and then you came on down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then here's the trick. You went up all the way to about right there. You went up all the way to about right there. Same kind of area, right? Same kind of area. And then what did you do? Let me zoom in a little bit more. And then we sort of fall down, and then we kind of bottleneck. We shoot the high, and then bam, take out the low. And then here's your bottom, here's your double bottom, and then moon boots, let's go, right? And all of that created this beautiful W shape. So same thing potentially what's happening here. You come down, a little bit of a bottleneck in here. Maybe we pop the high, we come down, we take out the low. Here's your bottom, here's your double bottom, slightly higher low. And then what do? You come on up, just like what Ethereum did back over here, right? And then what you have is a nice you know, sort of W pattern, right? So something like that. Yeah, you guys get the idea, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, now that I look at it, I mean, you can see, right, just how, you know, kind of nice how it looks. I mean, I turn the lights on, and there you go. So I think that has a decent potential, and it's definitely a different way to look at it. And then it also has this sort of bullish excuse, is if we do come lower, well, guess what? You know, it's still, you know, we can look back in history and say, well, what happened to other assets that did something similar? And both of them led to explosive bull runs after the fact, right? So we just have to wait. Again, and it could be finished now, right? I mean, it could be done now, but this kind of move, right? And then see how it pops the high. Maybe we get a little bit of a pop here, gets everybody bullish. Okay, now the time to go. And then what do? We get slammed back down. So that's kind of what I would look for. But even if that's the case, we should still look for a move, a retracement, right? Because when you look at this move here, this is a long, I mean, that's over 150 days we've been going down, right? That's a long time. So this is all one wave. This is just one wave. So we need a counter wave, maybe something that takes the high here, right? A pop to the upside, and then a quick move down that takes this low out, gets everybody bearish, and then we start drizzling along, and then bam, we just moonshot ourselves to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here for theta. If we break this low, you know, and looking at theta fuel, I would say the same thing, right? You know, basically you come up here, you take the low, right? You have a bottom, a slightly higher low, and then here's your W shape, right? So we come down, right? We sort of have that W shape, and that's, you know what, now that I think about it, that's a very good idea, and it makes sense from the structure, right? So, and then also other coins like even ADA, you have this sort of move right, where we could have that W shape, right? I mean, even Bitcoin did it back in the day, but this was a much bigger retrace. I mean, you can see the W, right? So there's your W. And then really what it is a crash, retrace, reaccumulation, blast off, right? So that's really what a W is. Crash, retrace, reaccumulation, we go sideways, we blast off. So now when I say that, I'm just wondering, okay, if that happened to Theta, what would the whole market do? I mean, does the whole market have to come back and retest this area and kind of like maybe get a spike and then that dump again? You have a much better, you have a bottom, a higher low, right? I mean, it could still be a slanted, you could see the W right there, right? So I would imagine something like that. But other than that, I'm going to jump into Bitcoin in the next video, and then also XRP. So stick around for that. Yeah, I just wanted to do a Theta only video today and talk about really breaking news, which is this 9, right? So it's not really like, if I go to total 3, look at this. Total 3 is also on a 9. Wow, I didn't even realize that. I thought, okay, maybe the altcoins too. So the entire altcoin market is on a TD9 buy on the daily. Look at the last time we had a 9. Look at this right here. So when it closed right there, and that wasn't even a perfected 9, that was an ugly looking 9, we went up about 17%. So we want to see a bounce here, right? And you can see the 9 sell here on the daily called it pretty well, but you can see we had a couple more candles that took out the high, but ultimately it led to a dump, right? So we want to see this one lead to a pump. I think it'll be pretty good here. So yeah, I think let's take a look here and see how this progresses, right? So if we kind of go sideways again, you can see the red dots here, right? You can see the base. As soon as we start breaking out, I mean, that's going to be a good sign. And then once we get to the retracement levels, then we can kind of reevaluate the situation. But the main idea is hashing this base out, getting back to the retracement levels. Again, if this comes and takes the low, then look for a retest and see if we can get through it, or we got to continue down. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, that'll do it for this video. It's only a 30-minute video today, so not too bad, huh? Anyways, appreciate all the support, and if you can hit that like button, I always appreciate that. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.